There we are. Hey everybody, welcome in. I'm sorry if I'm a few minutes late. As soon as I stopped being live today, my team kind of ambushed me with a lot of questions and I had to help them. But I'm here, and the good news is we have 2 hours of readings this week because we have today with you, and then tomorrow we have live crystal readings in Crystal Masters for an hour from, I think it's 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow night. So at least we have a lot of reading time over the next few days. And I'm here. I'm going to burn just a little bit of sage because I haven't burned any today. I've been running since I woke up this morning. So I'm going to just burn a little bit while we chat. But I'm going to dive right in. That feels good. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you're excited. Today's class is going to be fantastic. I am so excited about Crystal Masters today. I hope you are too. I've been excited about it for a week, so I cannot wait. I'm burning it for you too. So today's deck that Spirit wanted me to work with is a deck I've worked with before with you guys, which is the Kuan Yin Transmission deck by Alana Fairchild. I don't know Alana Fairchild, but I use her decks, and I think she's magnificent. It's funny because sometimes there was somebody whose decks I was using a few years ago, quite a few years ago, and I met her, encountered her, and didn't enjoy my interactions with her. So I've become quite cautious about whose decks I use. So when I promote somebody, usually it's because I know them or have worked with them before. I don't know Alana Fairchild. I've heard great things about her though. So if you don't have this deck and you like it today, that's one that I think is a good one for you too. Kuan Yin is amazing. And Kuan Yin's energy, I was just talking to a friend of mine last night in Sedona, and we were talking about Kuan Yin and how this time in our collective history is requires compassion. I would say more than almost any other time in our human development, this is the time of compassion. So today I want to read for you through the lens of compassion. And I'm going to ask my spirit guides to help me be a good, clear, and open channel for the wisdom that wants to come through. I'm going to ask your spirit guides to let me come closer. And I'm going to ask that only wisdom and information in service of your highest good be allowed to be expressed and communicated and transmitted. I'm going to ask that wisdom comes to you easily in ways that are easy for you to understand, and we give thanks for wisdom and information that's already on its way. Amen, aho, and so it is. Everything needs to be softer. I know. It's really true. And I'm not, I've become soft in my older age. I was quite not soft when I was young. So I've become a little softer as time has gone on, and I like to think that's Kuan Yin's influence. All right, Rhonda Reeves. Let's dive right in, darlings. No time like the present. Rhonda Reeves said, "May I have my first reading from you?" I would love to give you your first reading, Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. Hidden blessing. So Rhonda's card says, "In time you will see the truth of what appears to be working against you and recognize my favor." In this deck, it's written in the first person, so there's a little hummingbird out there. So when I say my, it's not Athena. This is what the deck says. I always feel like I have to give you that disclaimer because I'm not saying me. In time, you will see the truth of what appears to be working against you and recognize my favor. Participate with faith. All is unfolding according to a greater wisdom that ultimately serves your soul. What the spirit guides are saying, Rhonda, for you, even when you feel alone, you are not. Are you feeling alone? And remember, sometimes you guys pull cards for each other. So this might be a message for you, even if it's not, you're not Rhonda. You know what I mean? If you're feeling alone, you're never really alone. The universe is, I think, actively always working on your behalf. sometimes it looks like it's not, right? But what is the highest possible good that can evolve from this situation is the question that is coming through for you, Rhonda. What is the highest possible expression, energy, intention, wisdom? I feel like you need to turn your attention to that question today. What is the highest possible expression of my soul's purpose? And then how do I rest in that? How do I align with that? How do I manifest through that aspect, right? Woo! All right, Christina Ortiz. Hold on, Jess. I do think, Jess, my instant reaction to your question was yes, and the pendulum is saying yes. So whatever your intuition is, you should trust it. When they're quick questions, sometimes it's nice for me to just be able to jump in and answer. Is that helpful? If you have a quick yes-no question, I can run the pendulum for you. Okay, Christina Ortiz. Christina. Is Reiki Master the right path for me? I've never heard anyone say it's not the right path. Let me be quiet and listen to the guides. Wow. Intervention. I want you to learn from your choices, but I always protect you from consequences that will not benefit your soul development. When my intervention is required, it is given. Fear not. Have you been asking for guidance on this about pursuing it? Here's why let me check in with the pendulum. When I do readings for you, it's not Athena wisdom, it's spirit wisdom, so I have to kind of sometimes shut myself up and just listen, because maybe I don't know. There is no, it can only help you, is what the guides are saying. I don't see you practicing Reiki as like a profession. Is that true? So they're asking, do you need this for your work? If so, there is no risk in pursuing it. Remember that Reiki is a universal life force available to everyone. Is that helpful? That was Spirit's guidance, not mine. I will say that I think Reiki is a beautiful system. I'm a Reiki master from, gosh, almost 30 years ago. I did my Reiki training in my early 20s when I was like kind of exploring all the different modalities. I didn't have a great teacher. I did what everybody else was doing, you know, like there was somebody that everybody else was kind of recommending, and when I was a young person, and it isn't the person I would choose today, but, you know, I mean, I'm able to use the tools. I could teach Reiki. Do you know why I don't teach Reiki? Because everybody teaches Reiki, and so my thing is go get your training from somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, because Reiki is universally available, at least in my experience and what my teachers have taught me, I don't think you have to spend a lot of money to go get attuned. You know, you want to pay someone fairly for their time, but I don't see any downside energetically to you getting that training. Yeah. Woo! You're so welcome. I hope that's helpful for you. My perspective's a little different from other people sometimes. Just for shits and giggles, because somebody was saying, oh, Udemy, is it Udemy or Udemy? Oh yeah, Reiki training on Udemy or Udemy. So I took it. That will be the last program I ever take on Udemy. Because as a Reiki master, taking Reiki 1, it lasted for like, I don't know, an hour, and I'm just thinking like, this is not Reiki 1. So just be careful that if you want to be attuned and really work with the energy and someday become a teacher yourself, like make sure you're going someplace where they give you at least a little bit of time and some practice and an integration and, have an experience. All right, Samantha Deluzak, could I get a not in Kansas anymore card, please? I love that. All right, Samantha. This is a great card. Heart's desire, darling. The manifestation of your heart's desire contains the seeds of fulfillment for many beings. And ask and I shall help you attain your destiny in a way that benefits all. I believe this to be true. I really believe this to be true. When you get what you want, because your desires are not always just your own, right? When you manifest what you want or what you desire or what you seek, you automatically open doors for other people to do the same thing. And that's why it's so important that you go and do the thing that your soul is begging for, because when you do, it helps me, it helps, Tina Marie, it helps Danielle Cordeno, it helps all of us, right? Because we're all intimately connected to you. And I really feel like every time a human being doesn't reach their full potential, there's something in us that doesn't reach our full potential too, which is, if you ever feel like I'm pushing you, it's because I feel like it's part of my job. I've just seen how interconnected we all are. And when you make your dreams come true, you make it so much easier for the rest of us to do the same thing. They're saying it's time to push past perceived limitations. Do you know what that means? You have a perception that there are certain things that you need to wait for, or that you're not ready for yet, or I don't know. There's a resistance, and you pushing past that is really important, and it's important that you do it. August, May, June, July, August, September. They're showing me September, October. Is it 6 months? Yep, 6 months. Not to put pressure on you, but oh, Lizette, really? Is it your first reading today? Holy shit, Lizette. Really? Hi, Lizette. It's a great time for your first reading. When you guys have been around for a minute and then you say it's your first reading, I'm always like, really? All right, Lizette, let's get in there. Lizette. I like this one too. Free spirit. I relish your free-spirited nature. You are my beloved wild child. When you accept my love, every regret shall be cleansed from your heart, and your soul will be set free. You are my beloved wild child. Isn't it fun to think that we could be beloved to spirit even in our wildest incarnation? Because some of us feel like people can only love us when we're following the rules or behaving ourselves or doing what we're supposed to be doing, right? Then we feel worthy. But when we're in our authenticity, sometimes we're like, am I still livable? It's actually interesting what the spirits are saying. You actually need to reclaim some of that wilderness. It's really important for you, isn't it? It's not as far away as you think it is, Lizette. That part of you. So I think that's an invitation to get back to that. And sometimes we have to figure out what wild looks like for us. I think it's important to know what your wild looks like. I've worked with a lot of people over these years of every age. I've worked with people who've passed away. I've worked with people at the end of their lives. I've worked with people right at the beginning of their journey. And there's been kind of a pattern I've noticed of older people who say they didn't do that. They didn't find their wild. And it's a regret, you know? It's really important to discover that part of yourself. And it's never too late to discover it. In fact, I think the older you get, the more beautiful your wild becomes. That's what Yasmina, who's really become a friend. I mean, I talk to her almost every day. That's what she is for me, you know? She reminds me that, because she's 20 years older than I am, that I can still be wild and free, you know? And I don't have to inhibit that or dial that back in. Yeah. She's still finding her wild, right? Woo! All right, Catherine P. Dear Athena, may I have a reading, please? I had lost my way recently and need your guidance. Should I continue my study at university or should I do something else? Please help. Hi, Catherine. You're in a liminal space, aren't you, darling? Okay, Catherine. It's not making you happy, is it? There's your card. Take my hand. I am real, and I am reaching out for you. Take my hand. Feel the strength and courage within your heart. You're capable of more than you realize. Believe in yourself. You know what Spirit's saying? There's other ways to get what you want, Catherine. So now you need to ask yourself, what do I gain if I stay on this path? What do I lose if I surrender this path? And then weigh it. I know it's hard in those moments, you know, where you're putting things on the scale and making big decisions. I know it's hard. But, you know, your guides are telling me, Catherine, your heart already knows the answer. It already knows the answer. Maybe you just needed me to say that to you, which is okay. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, Yasmina's addictive. You can go down a rabbit hole. I have all the ingredients because she's taught me how to make bone broth and my own homemade chocolate, and that's how I'm spending the morning tomorrow. Maybe I'll go live with you while I'm making bone broth. Would you like that? If it would bother you or it's like not related to class, you can tell me because I try to keep everything relevant. But I'm making bone broth and chocolate tomorrow, and maybe you would like to see me do that. I wouldn't mind at all going live and sharing that with you. All right. Lynn Sova. I'd love a card. Trying to figure out, is this side gig worth continuing or focus on my studies? Interesting, because it's not the same question, but it's related to Catherine, right? About should you continue with your studies, right? Lynn. Keep in mind, I'm an academic. I have a PhD. I have 4 college degrees, right? I have 2 associate degrees. I have 5. 2 associate's degrees, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a PhD. I'm really glad I did them all. I don't remember most of it, and I'm not a professor anymore, but I love my academic training, so I'm really glad I finished it. I don't have any regrets about that. If I could go back, I wouldn't not do it. So if that helps you at all, I'm a big proponent of finishing your education. Having said that, if it's not making you happy and it's not leading where you want to go, then you have to reconsider. So Lynn. And we have a Willow with us live. Isn't that cool? So be like Willow. Let me relieve your pain even before external circumstances change. You no longer need this struggle in order to grow. Is this not what we just said? I have chills all over my body. This is exactly what we just said to each other, right? Let me be the healing medicine for your soul. You no longer need this struggle in order to grow. So let's talk about that for a second, Linsova. Is it a struggle? Is it helping you grow? Your studies. Is it going to benefit you? Is there a purpose to having it other than just while you're working on, what you want to be doing? And that's something that you have to sort, but it's nice to have the permission slip of the card to say, actually, it's great, Nicole, that you mentioned chaga. What Yasmin is having me put in my chocolate is flax and maca powder. And I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I might do a chaga batch later. She wants me to put maca in there for menopause. And so I got maca powder and then flax seeds, which are really good for skin and hair and anti-aging. So I'm kind of following Yasmina's recipe, but chaga is fantastic too. Oh yeah, let's see. All right, Sherry Herring. Oh, I don't know. I think you were talking to Siren of the Void. If you'd like a reading, let me know. Yeah, we are connected, Catherine, and a lot of you are on the same page too, which is interesting. Okay, let's see. Okay, Mary, not new. Been Crystal Master since October. January upgraded Soul Shift. Never been read yet. Can I have my first? Mary. Yes, of course you can. Hi, Mary. Let's get in there and see what's going on with you, cutie. You have sweet energy. It's fun to be in your field. You feel like my energy is kind of like that too, like a little bit of like a ball of, I don't know, ball of crazy, ball of fun. Mary. That's a great card too. Divine Mirror. Look into my heart and see your own true and beautiful nature shining back to you. Honor yourself as I do, and you shall have the confidence and willingness to manifest your destiny. That's a big card. Look into my heart and see your own true and beautiful nature shining back to you. Honor yourself as I do, and you shall have the confidence and willingness to manifest your destiny. They are talking about self-esteem and self-confidence. Is this an issue? I mean, we all have moments, right? But at the core of your being, nothing should rock your self-confidence. At the essence and core of you. It's okay if once in a while you don't feel good about yourself or you question something, but there should be a part of you who knows who you are all the time. For whatever reason, I came preloaded with that. Not in an egotistical way, but I'm very confident. But I do feel like I had some big lifetimes that taught me how not to surrender that, And if I could pass that on to people, that would be the number one thing I would want to teach people, is how to be kind of unshakable, This is something for you to work on. I'll just tell you what they're saying. They're saying you need to set an intention to awaken some past life awareness. It would help you right now. You're ready to learn more about where you've come from. If you ask, it will be shown to you. This is what they're saying. Because that empowerment is the secret to your success. And it's available to you. You just have to access it, open the door to it. It's right there. I'm out of lip gloss. Do you see that? I think it's empty. This is the same one I had at SG before we left. I just put it in my purse on the last day we were in the building, and there's literally nothing left. I think I'm going to have to toss it after today. Yes, I am one of those people who uses her lip gloss until the absolute last little nugget in the bottom. Okay. Woo. Sherry Herring. Okay. Hi, Sherry. Let's see what's going on in your neck of the woods. Sherry. It's good to see you today. Blue Lotus. Judgment is a prison. Compassion sets you free. I think I'm going to change that to my Facebook. You know the little weird bio? It gives you like 10 words you can put on Facebook. I literally think I'm going to change mine today to judgment is a prison, compassion sets you free. When you embrace the beauty of forgiveness and step forward in your truth, no circumstance or person can obstruct your fulfillment. What do you need to clear? Crystal Masters is going to be huge today for you for this. We're clearing it all out today. I'm going up in your lower chakras today like roto flippin' rooter. Hope you like it. I literally am going to clean your damn pipes today. I mean, if you want them clean. Some people like having, muck in their pipes. I don't understand it. But they get attached to their own muck, and it's like, don't clean me out. And it's like, well, I can't force you to clean yourself out, but I recommend it. What needs to be moved, Sherry? How are your lower chakras when you do your assessment with your pendulum, or however you do it? How are your lower chakras? It's time. The guys keep saying it's time. But there's this energy of forgiveness and compassion today is big. Mostly for you. Mostly for you. Roto flippin' rooter. Did you ever have a roto rooter truck pull up in front of your house in the 80s? We actually did when I was growing up. We hired them as a plumber, and they literally have roto rooter trucks. I imagine myself in a roto rooter truck driving to your house today, and I'm like, I'm here to clean your pipes. Denise Nelson would love a birthday reading, turned 50 today. Oh, Denise. I'm kissing 50, so I'm right behind you, sister. She said, having a hard day. Haven't seen my guy since father passed last year. Along with my aunt, they were the ones that celebrated my day. I'm really glad you're here today. Spirit wanted me to see you in particular. Happy birthday, Denise. I'm grateful that you're here on this planet when I am. Thank you for letting me celebrate you and celebrate this day with you today. I would sing to you, but it's not a gift. I don't want to ruin your day. But I'm going to tell you I love you. And I'm going to pull a card for you. Denise. Old soul. Don't take it the wrong way, and look. Like I said, I'm right behind you, so we're not calling each other old today. Spiritual maturity runs deeper than morality. Isn't that the truth? In choosing your behavior, seek to act from the wisdom in your heart. Do not allow external forces to sway you from what you know to be true. What does the next phase look like for you? What do you want? You know what the guides are asking me? If you were celebrating this day exactly the way you want to, what would it look like? And begin creating that vision. I feel like there is a new page of your book being written right now with a new cast of characters even. And a really good page of your book. I feel like you have so many reasons to be optimistic and be looking forward. Don't look backward. I know it's hard, but you're not going there. If you look backward, let it only be as a way of remembering with love what has gone before. But begin to turn your attention ahead of you in anticipation of what is coming. And dream into the future a little bit. I know it's scary. I know it is. I battled this myself sometimes. I was laying in bed last night. You know how I've been doing that thing I told you about where I do night dreaming, like where right before I fall asleep I fantasize about where I want to go and who I want to spend time with and who I want to partner with and how I want to experience love and how I want to experience, all the things like I let myself. Last night I started and I couldn't get very far into it because I had this wave of like, the human stuff that comes up. Well, what if this and what if that? And I don't know. I mean, all the things that I tell you not to do. But we're human and it's really hard not to have those moments come up sometimes. Happy birthday, darling. We're all lucky to be here with you. Okay. Let's see. Vanya. Oh, I love that. Okay, girl, that's it, right? Denise said, let's hold this vision with her. My wand making business with my guy at my side right along with my steak dinner. That is her ideal birthday. Amen. Aho. So it is. Hugely successful wand making business for you. I'm a believer. Vanya, if guides have a few words of wisdom for me, I would love it. I'm navigating chaotic waters at work, home, and relationship, and still smiling, but it's not easy. I know. Vanya. Let's give Vanya some guidance today for how to proceed. Universal Gateway. I am your path to freedom and fulfillment. You do not need to labor alone. Open your heart to mine, and all manner of blessings shall manifest through you for the good of all. I may have chosen this deck just for you, Vanya, because what I'm getting from the guides is Kuan Yin is an important companion for you right now. Like, set up an altar. You've seen my Kuan Yin altar back here, right? It was actually the first altar I set up when we moved into this house. There was a terrible divorce in this house, and that's actually how we bought it, because it had been on the market for over a year. They were asking too much, and finally they just were so angry at each other that they just wanted out and they lowered the price, and that's when I jumped in. And I don't know all the ins and outs, but the daughter was having trouble too. She was Zoe's age. So this was like, I think it's going on 5 or 6 years now that we've had this house. And I just do so much transmutation. The same thing happened in the last house we were in. Somebody died accidentally and they didn't tell us. I felt the man's spirit and was doing all kinds of shamanic work. And then the real estate agent was like, yeah, you're right. Somebody died there. We didn't tell you. And I was just like, these are things you have to tell a psychic. But I'm sharing this with you because when I moved into this house, last house I had to transmute death and accidents and things like that. This house, when I moved in, there's always work. I had to transmute a really heart-wrenching divorce. And so my guide said, set up a Kuan Yin altar in this room. This room was just blank. This room was blank for 3 years. And they said, just put it in that far left corner, set up your Kuan Yin altar. Even if you don't go near it, it's going to transmute the energy of the house. And it has. So what I would encourage you to do is set up a Kuan Yin altar. The guides were telling me to put it here, which would be the northeast corner. If that's helpful for you, that's where they told me to put mine. I've moved it to the other side of the room, but this whole room faces northeast. Yeah. If I was on my phone, I'd take you over there, but I will. I'll go live in Soul Shift maybe tomorrow or Friday, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but if you're interested in this at all, I'll just show you. I mean, it's nothing fancy, but I have a Kuan Yin statue, and the same statue is being made for you right now. Bali has these, or Momo has these artists in Bali who are painting that exact statue for you because I wanted to bring them to the shop, but Momo had them made for me, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so my exact statue is coming to SG, and they're all being painted right now in Bali. Every single detail by hand. I'll show it to you in class today, the statue, so you can see it, and then I'll go live in Soul Shift later this week to show you. Yeah, northeast. For whatever it's worth, right? Yeah. Okay. Angela Fleur is turning 48 on Saturday with Soul Level reading. Isn't that cool? Our moms were pregnant at the same time. I always think about that. I'm like, somewhere your mama was waddling around and my mama was waddling around. They were about to bust out some goddesses and they didn't even know it. Angela. You're older than me. You're wiser than me. By what, 4 months? All right. Receive. I like this for you for your birth year. Let the hungry earth of your body be nourished by the rainfall of my blessings. Open yourself to receive all that I wish to grant you, and I shall bring you relief. I wish that for you in this new year. But it's the guides are saying it's tricky for you to receive. Is that true? It doesn't have to be. You can change that. Is it hard for you to receive? Maybe this is the year you soften and open a little bit more to that. It's hard for me to receive. I've had to really learn how to do that. It might sound kind of funny, but receiving is important because that's how manifestation works, right? So if receiving is tricky for you, it actually can become something that you have to learn. I was always taught to give, and that if you received, it was selfish, you know. So in my family, I was raised by two people who just thought you don't take, you give, right? You eat your meal at the end after everybody else has eaten their food, right? So when you're raised that way, it's like getting something or getting it first or anything like that feels like you're violating some kind of unspoken code, you know? So you're welcome, Vanya. Set it up, girl. And set it up before you have everything. You've got enough, you know what I mean? Kuan Yin altar needs chrysoprase, rhodochrosite, rose quartz, morganite. Pink amethyst is great for it's great for that. So you've got stuff already. Start to set it up, and then when you get a statue and all the other things, or put a pink or a green candle, which are her colors. It's the Anahata colors of the heart chakra. Yeah, that'll be good for you. Hold on. There's somebody. Hold on. Sometimes I feel like they're like, no, go. Okay, Angie Spencer. I would love a reading. A family member and my best friend are facing major serious surgeries coming up. Okay, possibly life-threatening. I'm worried. I need guidance how to cope. That's why Spirit was like, up. So one card jumped out. I will pull that one for you. Angie. Remember that when we worry for people, we don't help them. We actually raise the opposite frequency of what they need. That's why when people are like, I was so worried about you, I'm always like, no, don't worry about me. Please don't do that. Because you're over here holding this real low frequency of worry and fear, and I'm over here like trying to, that's why I always I don't really if I'm really I was really sick this weekend. I was trying not to, because I had new moon and stuff, and I really had a bad go of it. But I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want anybody saying, oh, I was so worried about you. It's like, no, nope, time out, don't worry. So here are the two cards that came up for you. The first one is Seek My Guidance, Angie. I am your Divine Mother. We belong to each other. Speak to me of your concerns. I will receive all you offer me and show you the way. So that's the first one. And the second card, Angie, that jumped out of the deck before that one is the Willow card, which, like I said, has been coming up a little bit for you guys today. Let me relieve your pain even before external circumstances change. You no longer need this struggle in order to grow. Let me be the healing medicine for your soul. Is that making sense to you? They will have an easier experience if what you do instead is hold them up in the highest possible frequency of possibility of outcomes, right? You know, it's all gonna be perfect. They're gonna emerge strong and healthy, right? Really important. I'm really glad you said it because, and by the way, I hope you know, I'm sure you realize this, but I'm not in any way judging you for being worried. But the one thing I do like to tell people is worry is completely unproductive. Pity is unproductive. All it does is reinforce the lowest possible vibration, which doesn't help people, you know, it doesn't help. So, but if people say, oh, I'm going to pray for you and pray for your strength, it's like, yeah, I'll take that all day long, right? Yeah, I'm finally feeling better. I was down for the count yesterday before the gem sale. I wasn't feeling good. But I feel better today, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, hold on. Where are we going now? Right, Lauren. She can't make it to live readings until June. Is that because of school? Yeah, huh? I'm really struggling right now. I would love a reading if you feel called. I'm going to miss you live. You know I'm always here for you. I love you. I see you. I'm holding so much space for you. I really am. All right, Lauren. What a good card for you. You know? I don't know. I think it's a perfect card for you. Self-liberation. Nothing you could do would cause me to turn away from you. Liberate yourself from judgment. When you choose to believe you are worthy, you empower my grace in your life. What does the best path forward look like? Yeah. Here's what I'm getting for you. You are on the right path. You are making progress. Don't let discouragement deflect that progress. Right? Because you've seen yourself moving in the right direction, and so you have to... The secret to it all, guys, it is really easy to manifest when it's all already going your way. It's really easy because all you have to do is just keep going. But that isn't how it works. There are constant little tests. Do you really want this? Are you really willing to commit? You know, those tests still come for me. But now I recognize that when I'm always like, yes, I do, and yes, I am. It's the capacity to hold that frequency that differentiates you from people who don't get where they're going. It's the capacity to hold that frequency, and it's remembering that we hold that frequency for many different things and people and experiences. For a long time, I wanted to do my work in a smaller way. You know, fewer people, littler space. And I kind of wanted to call the shots about what that would look like and who I would work with. And every time I started to kind of narrow my field of vision, I stopped manifesting. And finally, at a certain point, it was either in an ayahuasca journey or a San Pedro journey, I can't remember. My spirit guides were like, you're not here to work with just who you want or just a few number of people or when you want to do it. You are here to work with everyone all the time. And this is what we're supporting you to do. That is why you are here. I'm kind of like the Statue of Liberty. And I've had people criticize me for it and say, you should have prerequisites and exams, and people don't get into your group until they've answered all the questions correctly. And, and it's just like, but that's not why I'm here. So understanding what you're here to do, and that sometimes you're here to share things with people where you're like, I'd rather not share in that way. Like when I was a professor, I was here to be a professor. I was here to, my doctoral students graduated because I was there. Most of my doctoral students would not have completed the program if I wasn't there, because I was like a surrogate mom. I took care of them. I shepherded them through the whole process. I helped them with classes that I wasn't even their professor for. I stayed up late at night editing their stuff with them, and crazy late night calls and weekend calls and stuff. But that's what I was there to do at the time. And there's a whole slew of people who graduated from graduate school because I was willing to make that commitment, and now I'm not there. But there's nobody there who needs me like that now. So while you are where you are, and this is what I'm getting for you, Lauren, while you are where you are, serve. And serve with an open spirit. But keep your eye on where you're going and where spirit is leading you, which is somewhere different than you are today. And if you can enjoy both, that is the absolute pathway forward. I hope that's helpful for you. Oh, thank you for that, Christiana. And we learn from people all the time. Woo! Megan Easton says, I would love to know if my husband will ever come on board with my place in Soul Shift. I had to sign up without his permission, so to speak, because he didn't want to spend the money. Yeah, I understand that. And sometimes it's hard. He may really feel strongly that this isn't the right way for you to spend money, right? It's hard sometimes, and I look at this as professional development and personal development, but some people don't look at it like that because they have their own perspective, and he might be very justified in his perspective. So I'm going to reframe this question to, what do you need to know right now that you don't know today in order to bless your marriage? Which is ultimately a process of compromise. As someone who's married, I understand that very well. Inner sight. You have been working to unravel a karmic knot, a problem that seems resistant to change and healing. Ask for my help. I can show you the real cause and the path to freedom. It's an interesting answer, isn't it? So is there something bigger at play? You know what I mean? Is a question that seems to be coming from the card. And how can you find a beautiful compromise here with your partner? Which, like I said, having been married almost 20 years, that is the secret to success, is compromise. So what does he need from you in order to feel comfortable? And then, will him feeling comfortable lead you guys to a stronger outcome? But yeah. Woo. Yeah. Sometimes, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this generally, Megan, because I'm not saying that this is your situation at all. But sometimes people get nervous when they see us growing because they, especially partners, they want to grow with us. And so what I have found with Dave along the way, like, for example, imagine Dave has not done ayahuasca, right? How many times have I done it? And there's part of him that's like, am I not going to grow as fast as you are, right? Will I be able to keep up with you? We've had those kind of conversations. And what I've always said to him is, this isn't a marathon, and it's not like I'm getting better. I have to follow the call of my soul, but I choose to share this path with you. And so it's not about keeping up with me, or are you ahead, or am I ahead? It's not a competition. So, I'm very sensitive to everything that you shared. I really appreciate it. I'm feeling called to quite a few of you. Let me try and do. I'm gonna go over a few minutes here, if that's okay. I'm gonna try to do 2 more individual, and then I'm gonna try to do a collective too. All right, Lena. She said, Athena, I'd love a reading. I'm bone tired of guiding myself. Girl, I understand that quite well. I'm not laughing at you being bone tired. I'm laughing at how much I understand what you're saying. Truly. Lena. I get tired of my own damn voice, man. And yet, look at the card. Inner sight. Same one. This is how connected you guys all are. Right? You've been working to unravel a karmic knot. That's why you're fucking tired. A problem that seems resistant to change and healing. Ask for my help. I can show you the real cause and path to freedom. Have you ever had a knot in a necklace and it's like, have you had that? It sucks. It's not my least favorite thing, and you're taking tweezers and you're trying to like get the thing out and it's like not working. But sometimes these spiritual challenges that we face are like that. Have you asked for help? What does asking for help look like, and what does it mean? I'm not sure you have asked for help. Not quite that way. That's what the guides were saying. It's time. I need help. I mean, they know we're human. They know we are in impossible predicaments. They know we have, at least on the face of it, a finite and limited number of tools to work with, right? So there's real compassion on their side. But I really do believe, I will tell you this for as long as I find it to be true, but it's always been true for me, they have a policy of non-interference. They're not going to stick their fingers in our pies without us asking for help. I think sometimes they intervene if we're about to harm ourselves. I do. But I think in general, unless we look up and just go, I can't do this, like, please, I need help. Please, and it's okay to do that. And it doesn't mean you're weak, and it doesn't, in fact, I think it means you're strong. If you lived with me and followed me around every minute of every day, once or twice a day, you would hear me stop and go, take the wheel, Jesus. Once or twice a day. Yeah. Going back up in the field. Here, let me see. Hold on. All right, there's Amy Arabia. I wanted to get to you today. Hi, Amy. Amy. She says, me, please. Are you tired? Like physically tired. I feel tired when I lean into your field. Like I've worked really hard. Kind of like there's a little bit of that. This is the card, sensitive. I empower your shift from being negatively influenced by the energies around you to positively influencing the energies around you. This is accomplished when you rest your heart in mine. I like it. The guides are talking about doors opening, but also some new opportunities, but maybe also new challenges that you might be facing. You have everything you need to move through these with grace, they're saying, but pace yourself. I am getting that. It's like, pace yourself. You're looking for the long, sustainable path. That's what's also going to bring you the deepest happiness and fulfillment too. So, because there's a lot of energy moving around you, but the energy feels very good. It feels very open. There's lots of possibilities and lots of opportunities, but it definitely feels like you need, I will say energetically, it feels like you need a break. Like a long weekend away or something like that. Can you do that? And by long weekend away, I mean, for me, a nice weekend away is 2 hours from here in Palm Desert to just rent a room for a night. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you need something like that. It doesn't have to be anything much, and it could literally just be one night, but just to kind of change your scenery. Are you going somewhere to photograph something? I know it's a random question. They're like, she's going somewhere to photograph something. Are you going somewhere to photograph something? Could you go somewhere to photograph something and make a trip out of it? There's something ahead like that. Like a little, I don't know. Looks like it's work related. And can you take me with you? I will fit neatly into your suitcase and I won't complain and I'll bring my own food. Oh, God. So, yes, indeed, as Karen Carley shared, and thank you for that, Karen. I was reading for you, and you were asking about your son. Well, I hope my reading for you was helpful, Amy. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I typically don't read for other people. I probably would have sensed it in your field. But I do still hope that was helpful for you. So this was the deck I was reading for. I'm going to pull a collective card for all of us really quickly. Yeah, I know. We're all easy travel companions. Aw. Andy's here. And I love that. Well, I'm going to do a collective pull now. And Andy, throw up your hand next time. And you will be one of the first I get to next week. Or if you come to Crystal Masters tomorrow, I can do a crystal reading for you too. All right, this is a collective card for everybody who's here now, everybody in Soul Shift, everybody who's watching now, everybody who will watch later. I'm bringing chocolate. I'm making my own chocolate tomorrow. I'll bring it with me. I'll bring whiskey and chocolate and wine and edibles. A card for Soul Shift, Soul Shift, Soul Shift to guide our work in the second week of April. Ooh. This is a great card. Yeah. Deep quiet. The birds went crazy when I pulled this card. Your soul needs silence like your body needs breath. Something beautiful and important is happening for you. Clear the distractions, go within, and you shall find a loving truth. Read that again. Your soul needs silence like your body needs breath. Something beautiful and important is happening for you. Clear the distractions, go within, and you shall find a loving truth. Ooh. What's coming through from Spirit is just so beautiful for you, you guys. So here's what's coming through. You makes me kind of, you would be overwhelmed if you could feel the love that is held for you in this universe. It's powerful and it's true. It's not the only force in the universe. The pendulum is going crazy, by the way. I wish you could see it. It's like, well, let me stay in the channel. It is not the only force in the universe. And to be sure, there are other and lower frequencies. However, your experience is guided by where you place your attention, and what you give your energy to returns that energy to you. I love you guys. You're beautiful too, Kaz. I see you. I'm so glad you guys are there. Pendulum is just still swinging. I know it's not all perfect or easy. I know it's not. It isn't for any of us. Some of us have our massive challenges front-loaded, early in life. I did. So if it sometimes looks like my path is easier now, I've been reassured it's because of how much I suffered earlier. Doesn't mean I get a permanent reprieve, but I have had a period of grace. But that's partly because I couldn't have taken anymore. I mean, honestly, you get to a point where it's just like, so I know that love isn't the only force in the universe. I know that it isn't always easy. I know that, but love is a force, right? Love is a force in this universe, and it's always available to you, and you can channel force in, and you can align it to your body, your heart, your mind, and set the intention to live in that space. And I believe that with all my heart. Yeah, so some people get them front loaded. Some of you are having your challenges back loaded, right? Some of you have kind of gotten a steady diet, like they gave you a challenge and waited 20 years and gave you another one and waited 20 years. I kind of had mine, boom, boom, boom. May you have your period of grace. Amen, aho, and so it is. And today was good, wasn't it? Thank you for allowing me today, too. And being so open and fluid and open-hearted and open-minded. I wish you, if there was one thing in my true space of unconditional love for you, which is true, I really have that core essence of unconditional love for you. If there was one thing I could wish for you, it would be ease. Because ease includes health, it includes abundance, it includes joy, it includes peace. It just makes fluid what can otherwise be staccato and clunky, right? Like I would wish you flow, I would wish you ease, so that you can just, almost like everything being Teflon coated, so you could just ride it with a little bit more tenderness, So I wish that for you today. It was good today. All right, well, you get to see me one more time in 50 minutes. Don't go too far. We have Crystal Masters beginning at 4 p.m. and today's going to be a great session. So on we go with ease. I wish it for you in all your days. And I wish ease for those you love too. Everybody who matters to you, may they find ease. And in that process, grace too. I'll see you soon. Mwah. See you at 4. Thank you, Spirit.